That's right, everyone, it's official. Donald Trump is now the 45th President of the United States of America. So let's talk about Subway. Oh, which reminds me, fun fact about Subway. Did you know Subway is actually run by communists? Bet you didn't know that. Don't fact check me, it's true. In fact, I caught one, and he's right here. That's right, everyone. Earl's a Soviet spy. I absolutely love Subway. They're fantastic. The footlong, they taste so good, depending on the location you go to. Because at certain locations, it seems like they're going through a famine, and in others, they have a surplus of food and they're trying to get rid of it before it goes bad. Hell, in one area, you're gonna have like one slice of turkey here, one slice of ham here. Oh, we just gotta trinkle the lettuce, man. We're gonna starve if we put too much on, man. We have to be very conservative. We have to keep this, man. And the other location is like, oh my god, it's gonna go rotten. Put everything on. You want lettuce? You want lettuce? Here you go. Oh, you want ham? Here, we're just gonna kill the pig and just put it on the sandwich. Wow, I'm really energetic today. I'm pretty sure this is just me trying to ignore everything else that's happening in the world at the moment. But hell, I'm talking about Subway, man. I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine. Another thing about Subway, if you guys have not tried their foot-long steak and melted cheese, I don't even know, the Chipotle steak thing, oh my god, it tastes so good. Get one right now. Sure, it is basically diabetes wrapped inside bread, but it's so good. Actually, when I was a little kid, I didn't like eating any vegetables whatsoever. I was very unhealthy. So what I would do, I would go there, I'd ask for a flatbread, I would put on just mozzarella cheese and pepperoni, so it was just a flatbread pizza. That's all it was. It was actually just a pizza sandwich. Or kind of more like a calzone, to be honest. And that truly is diabetes wrapped with bread. That's all it is. Actually, come to think of it, pizza is just diabetes. But over time, I started putting more things on my sandwich, and I basically got better because I started liking more vegetables and stuff, and I kind of got out of that. And talking about it, they started selling the flatbread pizzas. They did start making Subway pizzas, and I never was able to try. I think I took a bite of one out of my friend, but I was never able to try one, and they looked so damn good. And they stopped selling them for some reason, but it seems like there's an explanation for that, because the more I think of it, you go to Subway to get a sub, you don't go there to get a pizza. There's like, this is America, guys. There's a pizza place at like every corner. Why would you stop off at Subway to go get a pizza? That's stupid. All right, I've been ignoring the topic for too long. I have to. We're gonna talk about Blimpie. Blimpie losers. I have never had a Blimpie and liked it. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I can't even recall once where I actually liked one. In fact, I got this marinara like meatball sandwich. Oh my god, you thought the ones at Subway were cheap? Just wait till you get one of Blimpies. The thing like fell apart in my hands. It was absolutely disgusting. All right, no longer ignoring the topic. Let me go on into this. We're talking about Jimmy John's. Hello everyone, it is now Friday, January 21st. As you can see now, the original future freshman has been shot and killed for refusing to speak about Donald Trump becoming the 45th President of the United States. I will be taking his place, I am his clone, and I will be talking just about that topic, so let's get into this. The inauguration, I don't really want to focus just on that, or the speech itself, because I feel like, as we all know, you go back to any inauguration speech of any incoming president, and you start to see it's just a hype train. It's just trying to get people on their feet, trying to get them clap. What you say you're gonna do, and then you get in office and you go, oh yeah, can't really do that. That's basically all it is, and some of them go down in history for, say, JFK's and Obama's in 2009. Some are remembered, but they're usually just kind of forgotten, or FDR's, I should also say. But they're usually just kind of forgotten. Like, nobody really goes back and goes, yes, gonna go look at that, because that's really representing the presidency. No, it isn't. Really all it is the hype train, and it's also, in a way, allowing us to see how the president has progressed, what they thought they were gonna do, the promises they made, and where they were after their presidency, and seeing, like, kind of comparing them before and after, almost. That's really all it's used for, or at least that's how I believe we should all look back on most of them. Just to go into it, It was very interesting because there was a couple emotions that hit me when I saw clips of it. I was in PE at the time. I had just gotten the notification that he was on the BBC, that he had been sworn in as President of the United States just a minute before I had checked my phone. So, and it kind of hit me because I also took another second to recognize that Barack Obama, who is now the former president, has been part of my life since I was in first grade. I remember that's when I heard that he had won the election. I didn't know anything about the guy. Hell, I don't even think I knew that he was black. I mean, my memory is so vivid, but I didn't understand just how historic that election was, also because I really didn't care. But it was just such an interesting turning point in my life, because God, since then, it's been that long. I've had him as my president for that long. That's insane. And I, of course, yeah, I didn't really recognize the history of it. You know, one of our original sins of this nation was slavery, and then we have our first black president. I didn't really understand how historic that was, of course, because I was so young. But now seeing it all go and just kind of looking back at the president himself, just seeing all the things you did, you can't help but notice just a presidency that is kind of mixed depending on who you talk to. Like, there were some amazing moments and some of the great things he did, and then there's some things that are more controversial. And I kind of want to touch on the Obama legacy for just a moment. I know, wow, look at me, I'm moving away from the Trump inauguration again, but I do want to speak about this for just a moment. There's going to be a lot of things that he'll go down in history for, like I just said, first black president. He will be remembered as the first president to successfully be able to pass healthcare reform, because presidents have been trying to pass healthcare reform since FDR, so he'll go down in history for being the first person to do it, no matter if the Affordable Care Act gets repealed or not. Of course, that could be happening in a couple days, that law could be gone. But either way, he'll be remembered for that. Of course, he's also going to be remembered for being the first president to take action against climate change, which is going to be so vital in the future, and who knows what this new administration is going to do about that, and how their stance on climate change is going to turn. Everything he did in the Paris Agreement, like all the actions that he took to fight climate change and trying to make people recognize it, taking it seriously, it's very interesting, and he'll go down in history for that, for sure. Another one, as we all know, everything he's done to fight for LGBT rights, the president that legalized gay marriage across the nation, as well as fighting for transgender rights, taking a very hard stance against the bathroom bill, repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was a law that didn't allow gays to openly serve in the military, and then also kind of taking steps to support having transgenders serve in the military, basically making our military stronger, and he deserves a lot of credit for everything he did for the LGBT community, who will definitely be remembered for that. You know, I mean, just being an American and being straight, I thank him a ton. Like, I have family members who weren't able to get married because they were gay, and in my state, Arizona, it wasn't legalized, and now they're able to, which is fantastic. And that only happened a year ago. It's insane. A year and a half ago by now. And then another thing I wanted to touch on, he brought the troops home. I mean, that's insane. You ended the war. It wasn't, I should make it clear that he was president while we started pulling the troops out. Bush does deserve credit for signing basically the treaty with Iraq to get the soldiers out. But people criticize him for not keeping any of them in. But the thing is, then that goes back to Bush. He signed it saying, we're taking all of our troops out. So he couldn't make a choice. He couldn't go, oh yeah, guys, I know, I heard about this thing called all these different terrorist groups that are now emerging, and I'll keep them in. He couldn't do that. The treaty basically said he has to bring all the troops back out. Of course, later in his presidency, he sent them back in after the rise of ISIS and all that stuff. And that's where it gets into more of the controversial stuff. Like, what could he have done differently? You know, there's some mixed opinions, like, did he do enough to fight against Wall Street and lobbyists? You know, you can say, well, he bailed out the banks, and then look at all the laws that he passed, restricting them from making those stupid decisions again. But at the same time, it definitely wasn't enough, because they're still running wild today. And then there's everything having to do with, was it the correct choice to even bail out the banks? Did he... Well, it's inarguable to say that he did save the auto industry, and he made a great decision with all the jobs that were created after that. It was insane. Yeah, and there's the economy could also be argued, like, did he do the correct things? And then, of course, Obamacare, there's a bunch of different things you can go into that, but I think it's definitely, we are better off, and I mean this completely, in most areas. Of course, some things have gotten worse. we are much better off than we were 8 years ago. And I don't think there's no way to argue that. We're doing far, far more better than we were before. Our deficit was extremely high during the Bush era, mainly because of the war in Iraq, and then everything having to do with this president came in during the Great Recession, and then he was able to stop that. And the Great Recession? No, it's not the Great Depression, the Great Recession, when the stock market crashed in 2008. He came in, and he was able to kind of sweep away that. Still had some problems, but he was able to fix it. And then there's everything controversial about him and his foreign policy, which I think is where he's going to get knocked more. Economically, I believe we'll all look at it and go, he made the right choices, definitely. He was able to, save a lot of stuff and create a bunch of new jobs, but when you look foreign policy-wise, that's where I believe the debate's really going to be. I am going on, geez, I've been talking about Obama for 5 minutes, but that's where that's going to go on. That debate. Did he do enough? He should have stepped in earlier to fight ISIS, all this stuff. He wasn't taking it seriously. That red line in Syria, what the hell? Did he take a hard enough stance against Russia? All this other stuff. And I believe those gonna really be put up to debate, but I'm not gonna be speaking about that right now. And just one last thing to speak about it, to talk about Obama. No matter if you agree with any of his policies, let's say you thought his presidency was awful, blah, 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 all that, right? There's no doubt in my mind that this was one of the greatest men that we've ever had as presidency. The elegancy he brought to the White House, how kind he was, his character. I think, honestly, no matter how you look at it, he's a nice guy. No matter what side you're on, he's an extremely nice guy. And how he was able to keep his temperament, even when people questioned if he was born in the United States. I'd be pissed if anyone ever questioned me on that. But he was able to get through that and everything. People, even having to deal with people talking about his skin color and blah, blah, blah. He was able to go through all that. Yeah, and then one more thing. I'm so sorry. I'm just completely ignoring this. Gun control legislation. I believe this is the turning point. This presidency and how he tried to fight for proper common sense gun laws in the future. Donald Trump won't do shit for that. I'm just saying. If we have another Democrat in office, or really a Republican, a moderate Republican, this presidency kind of kickstarts that idea of we need proper gun control legislation. He deserves a lot of credit for that. Anyways, yeah, besides that, props to him, man. Even with the gridlocked Congress, he was able to do a hell of a lot. So anyways, back to Donald Trump. Yeah, this is a polar opposite guy. This is the polar opposite to Barack Obama. And when he was sworn in, my thing is, as of right now, I'm kind of scared, because I thought maybe he's going to surround himself with the right people. Maybe he will put Mitt Romney up for Secretary of State. Maybe he is going to choose someone for Treasury Secretary that knows what they're doing and who will actually help the people. But he has done anything but. He had Mitt Romney, someone who has gone overseas, who has run an election, he has that experience, even when I disagree with him on certain topics. He has all that experience, and he didn't choose him. He chose Rex Tillerson. Rex Tillerson. Yes, Rex Tillerson, the man who has ties with Russia through business deals. And mainly because of his oil plants. And he co-owns an oil plant which the US and Russia both own themselves. But it's whoa, how? This was such a bad idea. And then everything having to do with Rick Perry choosing him to head the Energy Department, a department in 2008 that he said he wanted to have torn down. And then look at whoever, I'm forgetting his name, the man who he's used to head the EPA, who denies climate change and has tried to take down the EPA for decades, I believe is what it was, for years, whatever it was. But he has had a history of trying to destroy the EPA. That's nuts. What are we doing? So it almost feels like you're appointing the people for the jobs that they don't need to be in. And I've already talked about a ton of these different appointments. So I have a link in the description to where you can see them, so you can just see them for yourself. Just see how incredibly dumb some of these are. Ben Carson for the housing department. Oh my God. But it seems like the majority of these people, it always starts off with, it would be funny if we chose blank to head blank. That's what it feels like whenever he chooses one of these people. Yeah, that's basically it for the appointments. That's all I really want to touch on. He's choosing people to watch his house who have a history of burning it down. I don't know where it cut out. That's my camera just turned off. What I was saying was I just moved into the inauguration. I stopped talking about. I don't know where it cut out. All right. I need to clear this up. Jesus, we've been talking about this for 12 minutes now. What I was saying is that him coming into office and all the things, he still acts like he's running on the campaign trail. All the fights he started on Twitter, that is, for all the things he said about people just because they criticize him is so unpresidential. And I know some people like him because he's not presidential, but still, like, maybe you're the leader of the free world now. Maybe you should take this job seriously. But it's scary. It's scary. And all the policies he wants to pass, like, some of them will just not happen. I want to say this right now, and if somehow, if he proves me wrong, that wall, it's not going to be built. And you know what? It's not going to be paid for by the Mexicans. It's not. That's not how foreign policy works. Oh, sure, yeah, I'll pay for the thing that doesn't help me in the slightest, and that will cost $25 billion. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, that's cool. Here, I'll cover your check. That's not how it works. And the whole idea of a wall makes no sense, considering 35% of illegal immigrants come over here on planes and overstay their visas. So we'll just build the wall miles and miles high so that no planes can go over it. It's like, what are you going to do? And then, of course, let's just go around it. Let's just, just do what the Cubans do and go to Florida. That's dangerous, but still. It makes no sense. Like, has nobody actually stepped back and gone, oh yeah, the wall actually doesn't stop anyone, so why are we building it? We have a border fence already. Not in every single area, but in the places that we have border fences, I live in Arizona, you know what they do. Guess what? You're not going to believe me when I say this. They go over it, or they dig under it. That's what they do! It's insane, I know, you might not believe me, but they do that because it's an ancient piece of technology. It's a barrier, that's all it is. What are you going to do, huh? It makes no sense. And all the things he said about, I'm gonna ban Muslims from entering the US for a temporary amount of time to solve the problem of terrorism, even though every single case of terrorism for the past 2 years, every terrorist attack for the past 2 years has been caused by people living in the United States who are inspired by terrorist groups foreignly, and then, oh wait a minute. Oh, you see, that makes no sense. And then also, by the way, freedom of religion. You know how bad that looks to the rest of the world when you even propose banning a religious group from entering the country? That looks awful. Like, Jesus. And foreign leaders criticized him when he said that, and he hadn't even won the nomination yet. This also looks really bad to the rest of the world. Just the pure fact that he's now president. Oh, man. It makes us look like idiots, and I'm not even joking. I'm not saying, and here's the thing, when I talk about this stuff, I'm never speaking directly about supporters, or, like, if you support Donald Trump and you actually agree with his policies, I disagree with you, but whatever, that's cool. Go ahead, it doesn't matter to me. I don't hate you, which I feel like everyone I take personal offense for you having a different opinion about a policy set forth by a person who I like. No, I honestly don't care. Some of you people, I agree with repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Maybe there are people who do want Don't Ask, Don't Tell because they don't think openly gay people should serve in the military. Do I disagree with you? Yes, strongly, but I'm not gonna hate you. It's not how it works. But yeah, I've been rambling. I guess if I've been too critical at the same time, I need to find something positive. Here's the positive thing. Maybe, what he said in his speech, how he's gonna fight for the American people, I do believe that he does care. I know, for all the things I've said about him, I still think he actually does care and he'll try to take this seriously. It's just for all the things he's done, and like President Obama said, nothing can prepare you for this job. It's day one, and I have no idea what the hell he's doing or what he's thinking. So, I hope he does well. And I honestly think, some of his policies won't pass, obviously, and I don't want them to, some of them. But I want him to succeed, and I want him to, help our economy, but at the same time, you know, maybe take into consideration that we shouldn't deport all the illegal immigrants. Maybe we should try to integrate them into society because they're good people. My landscapers are illegal immigrants, and they're really nice people. I actually talk with them from time to time, the ones that know some English. I can't really communicate with them in Spanish because I know just like this much. Spanish, I finished Spanish 1, taking Spanish 2 right now. But like, and then everything, I hope, you know, some of the things he has taken back, like how he said he wanted to put women in jail who have abortions, which is just sickening that you would even ever say that. You know, and it's, maybe he won't ever say anything like that again, but who knows? And maybe he'll come to his senses and go, wait a minute, no, the Affordable Care Act, we do need that here, because when it wasn't here, we were doing awfully, and now we're just doing better than we were before. Maybe he'll, you know, maybe there's something in his brain, right? There's something in his brain, somewhere deep down in his heart, or anywhere, somewhere, where he'll have at least some audacity on how to treat other people and how to set out policy and how to speak about foreign leaders with respect. And just people in general with respect. But yeah. I'm not too optimistic, but we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. It's not gonna be a World War III. It wasn't gonna be World War III if Hillary Clinton was in office, right? We're always fine. We always over-exaggerate, and then 4 years later, we're like, oh, that wasn't that much. You know, that's what we always do. But yeah, that's all I really want to speak about. Besides that, just, I know this is going on way too long. I enjoy talking about, oh shoot. I enjoy talking about this. I hope you guys enjoy listening to me. It can get boring sometimes if you don't know what I'm speaking of, but one other thing, just speaking about the Democrats who didn't, the Democratic congressmen and women who didn't go to the inauguration, it was about 60, I believe. I highly disagree with that. I don't think, and they were all coming out because we're like, we don't find him, we think he's an illegitimate president. Sure, they can do that, that's fine, but I don't agree with them. I think this is that was a time for unity. I think that they should have shown up, and they didn't, so, I mean, whatever, but I think they should have done it, honestly. But yeah, that's really all I want to talk about. Oh, the Women's March on Washington. I'm in full support. After all the things he's said about women, which has been caught on camera saying about women. By the way, we just elected someone who was caught on camera talking about how he likes to grope women. Then when those same women came out saying, yes, he did grope us, when they came out saying that, he looked us straight in the eye and said, those people are lying. Maybe he takes us for idiots, but you're caught on camera saying it. And then they come out and they say, yeah, you did do that, and you're like, oh, no, I didn't do such a thing. Like, I don't know why I said it like, Richard Nixon. But, yeah. Oh my god, I'm rambling. Anyways, but yes, thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I really do enjoy doing this. I love just speaking to the camera, just uncut, just doing this, right? It's fun, honestly. But yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. It's been fun. It's been fun. We're all gonna be okay. Now here's the next 20 seconds of the outro and the video, the end screen video. But yeah, that's it. That's all we're doing, everybody. I love all of you. Thank you all so much. 2017 is going to be a hopefully good year. We're gonna get through this, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.